Welcome back, Dreamklub here. That's kind of a silly beginning, actually. I mean, the channel is called Dreamklub, and it's kind of a dead giveaway. But anyway, my name is Dreamklub, and welcome back to Dreamtalks, the show where I basically talk about life or issues or the channel a bit. This is a bit of a relaxed version of Stick Patrol with some nice gameplay in the background. So today we are starting Portal 2, and I'm going to use that for this Dreamtalk series, and I hope you will enjoy it. It's a marvelous game, and if you haven't played it, get it during the summer sales. It's a modern classic. The Portal games are fantastic, and it's not without a reason that they are as famous as they are. So I'm going to talk over the gameplay. It's going to be not as loud in the background, but you might hear one or two things that they are talking about and see, and I hope it's not too distracting. But basically, I figured it was a great way to make this series a bit of my own. Basically, I mean, I see it like this: if everybody else have done it, why do it again? Why reinvent the wheel, so to speak? It's completely stupid, and there are so many, just let's plays of this game out there, and this is going to be a playthrough, but we're going to talk about other stuff than the game. Basically, that's what's going on. So I asked on Twitter. I say this as I'm opening up my phone to get the exact information correctly. If anybody had any topics that they want me to talk about today, and there were a couple of them. With this comic suggested that we should talk about racism, but I basically want to I want to dodge that bullet for a moment. I want to dedicate an entire episode to just talk about racism. What is racism to begin with? Because that's not obvious. I've seen so many situations where the word racism is used in the wrong context. Stereotypes are not the same as racism and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about that, but that's going to be maybe the next episode. But not today. Then I got the suggestion that we're going to talk about penguins. And it came from Mr. Jimmy Penguin. So let's talk about penguins. Penguins are birds, and they live in ice, and they are extremely cute when they are like sledding down into the water on their stomachs and stuff. That's cool. I like that. Penguins are awesome. So done, fixed. And then we had Theo Viking Ola, as in the XCOM series as well. That Ola it is. He suggested that we would talk about the World Cup being held in a third world country. And I think this is going to be the most of what we're going to talk about. We have talked about a third of the episode already, but whatever. I don't understand what you're talking about, Ola. I guess that it is about the fact that Brazil is holding the World Cup. But do not mix up Brazil with a third world country, my friend. Brazil is the world's 7th richest country. They have over 70 billionaires. Not millionaires, billionaires. I think they have around 71 people that owns more than 1 billion American dollars. It's not a poor country, but there are so much, inequality in this country, and many countries worldwide have that same issue. As come from a Scandinavian country, both you and me, Ola, I guess that it's easy for us to believe that Brazil is a third world country when we see how crappy many people have it, in Brazil. But the fact is, it's not a third world country. Not by far. It's a very fast growing, super strong economy. So that they are holding World Cup, that is completely understandable. That they are not able to straighten out the population's inequality, financial troubles, and that they are not able to, solve all those poor people's problem and, get a balance in the nation with some people are extraordinarily rich while some people are extraordinarily poor. That's something that must be questioning their government. What are you really doing. The enormous criminality they have, all those issues, they could solve them. It's not impossible by any means. And once again, Scandinavia is a very special place in the world. For any other people in America or in a place like that, it's not it's not the same with Scandinavia and the rest of the world. We have had a history of a kind of mix of socialism and liberalism and conservatism in a strange way. We kind of mixed it up, and it became a balance between poor people, rich people. The basic idea was that, okay, if we have a lot of people that are, down on the ground, have to work, don't get enough pay, we will soon have the same situation as our neighbor Russia. We will have a revolution, and the communists will come in, and we will have a lot of troubles. So the idea became that, okay, let's try to get equality in the nation. Let's balance out the super rich and the super poor, so we get a huge middle ground financially. We have the middle class being the most important class of Scandinavia. So when we found that balance, that gave us an edge towards many other nations. Brazil have the exact opposite. They have some super rich, and they got a lot of super poor, and they never got a revolution because they had a very strong military neighbor that would suggest that any revolution would be crushed. I'm looking at you, United States. We all know how it is in Central America and South America. They never had the potential to revolt because they would just be so much. It would have been war, since United States definitely didn't want communism to reach their side. And the only nation where it's actually United States failed to control this was Cuba. And that led to the Cuba crisis and all of that situation. So, it's violence is maybe not a solution. And I would suggest the United States themselves would look into their population, because there's some people that are having 4 jobs and still are super poor in the United States, and that's pretty sad for being the richest country on earth. And I think most Americans would agree on that. Still, most Americans have a pretty good life, and as long as you have a pretty good life, there's no risk for any of the violent revolutions that happened in Russia or many parts of Europe actually during that time. I kind of haven't spoken about football yet. So if we're going to talk about football, and I'm talking about football, I'm not talking about what Americans would suggest football. I'm talking a lot to America today. Hi, America. Love ya. What I would say is that, American football, that's, as long as you run around and carry the ball in your hands, you cannot make me understand that it's football. It's a game where you're only allowed to use your feet. Well, then I accept it as football, So that said, the American way of playing is actually not that bad. Many Europeans are just tossing it aside and saying American football is stupid. I wouldn't say that it's stupid. I would say that it's a completely different sport, and that we shouldn't, be too fussy about it. Football in the World Cup. Sweden is not there, so I'm not able to be, saying, oh, I'm cheering for Sweden. Since we are not around, there's nothing I can do about that. But what I can say is that I have put my heart into the nation that nobody ever believes in. And I was super happy after their first game. I'm cheering for Costa Rica. It's a nation that everybody considers going to be last in the group. They're going to be have no chance. And to be honest, I don't really believe they have much of a chance either. But just because of that, I'm going to cheer for them, because they are the one who needs it. On any other note, I'm following it with certain interest, but I'm not sitting down, an entire day watching football. That's not. I could not do that. I can watch one game from time to time, but it's not my biggest interest like that. But I'm following it. I'm following the results. The results are more interesting than the game for me. So that's how my brain works. It's kind of weird. Um, yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Maybe not the most organized way of talking about it, but this is not supposed to be the most organized. This is going to be the time where we can talk about everything and just talk a bit. So that's what this is going to be about. And sometimes I'm going to use it to talk about something more important than football and penguins. But I think it was a good thing to talk about the fact that, we should not mix up Brazil and the third world countries. It's a super economy, and in my opinion, it's more the only thing that's shameful with them holding it. It's the fact that they haven't dealt with their own problems yet. They have a lot to solve in Brazil, and I believe that any nation with that wants to have their honor intact when they're going to have a big event like this. Well, first of all, try to fix the problems you have in your nation. I know every nation have problems, and you cannot solve everything. But when you have that many people like Brazil have that's sucked into crime and being hold back from the society by inequality and all those problems, that's something they should solve. They have the means to do it, and they should do it. So that's what I think about that. My name is Dreamklub, as I've been saying already. If you have missed, out the fact that the channel is called Dreamklub and that's me. So I hope you have enjoyed this. If you have any topic that you want me to talk about, this is a series where we're just going to talk about everything, a bit more calm, a bit less ragey than in Stick Patrol. In Stick Patrol, we can rage really about stuff. Today, this is not Stick Patrol. This is Dreamtalks. And this is basically a calmer version. There are some more stuff coming out on the channel soon. We have Defron. We have a Stick Patrol that's supposed to come out soon. I have the topic. I've just not been able to record it yet. And I also hope to soon be able to introduce the ship for you. If you don't know what that is, I think that could be fun. But it depends on the people I want to record with when they have the time and means to do it. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you have enjoyed. See you next time. Bye bye. My name is Dreamklub, and I'm out.